que sepan.
All right.
Entonces, bueno, primero que todo, bienvenido Ken, Deidre, Héctor, Hams, Jeffrey y Lydia. Bienvenidos. Welcome, guys. So I'm going to start by doing a small presentation. Voy a comenzar para dar una presentación de PowerPoint, donde voy a dar como avances de nuestro negocio y lo que va a venir. So I'm going to show you guys an update of our business, which is la Bitcoinera. Ese es el nombre de nuestra marca. Y somos el primer cripto operador de cajeros cripto en Honduras. So we're the first crypto ATM operator in Honduras. And I'm going to share my screen now. So just give me one moment. All right. So, all right. So you can see my screen. All right. So when I share my screen, I don't think I can see you guys if I put it on presentation mode. There we go. Okay, sweet. Bueno, entonces, TGU Consulting Group es la compañía operadora de la Bitcoinera.
Juan, I don't know if you can swap these plays or maybe duplicate the presentation because you're showing like the presenter view.
Okay, let's see. Let's switch it out. Share the screen. Share the screen. Here we go. Is that better?
That's fine. Perfect.
Yeah, that's good one.
All right, awesome. All right, so la Bitcoinera, el primer cajero de cripto en Honduras, TGU Consulting Group es la operadora. So for those of you who don't know, in El Salvador, the company operating the ATMs is called El Chivo. Entonces en El Salvador, la compañía que opera estos cajeros se llama Chivo y es una sociedad anónima de capital variable. It's like a C Corp, basically, in Latin America. And so la misión de nosotros es poder ofrecerle al pueblo de Honduras una forma más accesible de poder adquirir criptomonedas y fomentar el entorno tecnológico en Centroamérica. So our mission and vision is to simply make it really easy for people in Honduras to buy crypto, which previously was really hard with cash money. And our vision is to make Central America a leading tech hub. Hence why we need to speak Christine and partner up. So yeah, so this is a small video. I'm going to show you a video of how the ATM works. Entonces les voy a mostrar un video de cómo funciona el cajero. Entonces, bueno, como acabamos de ver, es que el cajero te pide un número de teléfono, entidad, tu billetera de Bitcoin y efectivo. Y después puedes comprar Bitcoin y te tira un recibo. So as you guys saw, we do require like a cell phone number, your ID for the first time, and then your Bitcoin wallet. And this is mostly to just like be preemptive in terms of KYC. We're not required to, but we're doing it just to be ahead of the curve. Entonces, este es el cajero. Entonces, bueno, Brock Pierce estuvo aquí en Honduras. Brock Pierce from the Bitcoin Foundation was here, so we got to meet him and talk to him. He came to have some meetings with some like politicians. Entonces, Brock Pierce vino a reunirse con algunos políticos para ver la situación de energía en Honduras para poder minar. So he was interested in trying to bring Bitcoin miners over. So I don't know how that went because we had a government change, but yeah, so he was here. And then this is our ATM in downtown. So este es nuestro cajero en el centro de Tegucigalpa, en Casa Quincho. Tiene una pantalla donde te puede mostrar los pasos aquí abajo y ahí está el cajero. So we added some NFTs on the side too, but this is our ATM. So this is with the one-way BTM, right? But yeah, this is it. So it's on the second floor in a kind of like co-working space / restaurant space / public space. So it's very, very accessible for people to use it. Entonces el cajero está muy accesible en el segundo nivel de Casa Quinchón en la rampa. O sea, hay comida, venden alitas, venden licuados y puedes comprar Bitcoin mientras disfrutas de tus alitas. Entonces, okay. Y bueno, este es nuestro cajero de doble vía que te permite comprar y vender. So this is our two-way BTM where you can cash in and cash out. So you cash in goes through here, cash out comes through here. Entonces el dinero se mete por acá y el dinero sale por acá a la hora de vender. Entonces aquí podemos ver que tenemos comprar y vender. Y este es nuestro cajero. Le hicimos unas pruebas en Tegucigalpa antes de enviarlo a San Pedro Sula. So we did a few tests in Tegucigalpa before we sent it over to San Pedro Sula, which is an industrial city that didn't have a Bitcoin ATM. So people were traveling 4 or 5 hours to use a Bitcoin ATM. So we put one over there. Y este es ya colocado en Spirit Animal Coffee Shop. Entonces el cajero ya está colocado en una tienda de café que se llama Spirit Animal. So yeah, the Spirit Animal Coffee Shop is the host of this ATM. So you can see you can buy and you can sell. So you put this is the scanning bay where you scan your ID or your Bitcoin wallet. And this is a video of how to use it. Let's see if it goes over here. Can you guys see that video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Si quieren le podemos dar play otra vez para que lo mire nuevamente. We can play it again if you guys want to see it again, in case that was too fast. No? Yeah, okay. Se le pide el número de teléfono. ¿Cuánto quiere vender? Entonces, so the first, when you want to sell, the ATM has buttons. You can select how much money you want. So, say you want to sell 200 lempiras, you press 200. Entonces, la primera vez, el cajero te pregunta cuánto quieres vender. Si quieres vender 200 lempiras, simplemente seleccionas el botón de 200 y genera un código QR. And then it generates a QR code. Ese código QR simplemente tienes que escanearlo con tu billetera no custodial, como Trust Wallet. So the best way to do this is to scan that QR code with your non-custodial wallet, like Trust Wallet. ¿Por qué? Why? Well, because if you do it with an exchange, it's not going to send the right amount and it's going to take forever. And then the ATM is like, you didn't send me what you were supposed to send me, so I'm not going to give you the money. Entonces, ¿qué pasa si usas una casa de cambio? Bueno, la casa de cambio te cobra una comisión por el uso de la red y no le envía al cajero la cantidad que le pidió. Entonces, al cajero, al no recibir la cantidad que se le solicitó al cliente, no te lo va a mandar. Aunque hayas mandado, por ejemplo, si el cajero te pidió 200 lempiras y uno le mandó 199, no te lo va a dar porque el cajero te pidió 200. So that's the only issue. So we always suggest or recommend, highly recommend, and we have posters for people to use non-custodial wallets. And then once you've sent your Bitcoin to the ATM, una vez que hayas mandado tu Bitcoin al cajero, simplemente te pide tu número de teléfono. And we're just going to ask you for a phone number, send you a security code, te va a mandar un código de seguridad, lo pones, then you input that code, and then the ATM is going to verify, okay, has this been confirmed? Y una vez que le des canjear, el ATM va a verificar, okay, esto ha sido confirmado. Y si lo es, te va a tirar el dinero. So once it's been confirmed, it's just going to issue you the money. You get money. You sold Bitcoin for crypto. Aquí, una vez que es exitoso, te va a dar el dinero. So, este es el único lugar en Honduras donde puedes hacer esto de manera automatizada. So, this is the only place in Honduras where you can do this in an automated way. This is it. So, nos puedes contactar. Este es mi correo. So, this is my email. You can reach us at juan@bitcoinera.com. And of course, on Twitter. We're always active on Twitter. Siempre estamos activos en Twitter. Y... okay, no sé si tienen preguntas hasta ahorita. I don't know if anybody has any questions up to now. We make this very Q&A, so.
Hey, Juan, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So for starters, thank you for coming. So excited to have a truly international presentation, right? In those languages, that's really good. Second, I got to have more of these so that, I can learn Spanish. So bring some more on. So, but my first real question is when I saw that two-way communication, I didn't see a place where I could put my Bitcoin in. Right? Where do I put my Bitcoin into that?
No, that hole is on the side. On the side of it, you can insert the coin.
No, there's a lot of people who are first coming to our presentations that are really expecting physical kind of coins associated with a Bitcoin, and so sometimes it's their first experience to realize this is just digital money, right? It's all on a ledger, right? I did have a serious question though. So when you do have the two-way kiosk, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does it work to exchange out the cash, right? You have to put cash in there from time to time, do you not? Is that a logistics kind of challenge?
So I have to load it up with cash. So para responder la pregunta de Ken, si yo como operador tengo que rellenarlo con efectivo. So yes, I have to fill it up with cash.
And how often do you have to do that?
It depends on the demand so far. Only once every 2 weeks. Entonces depende de la demanda.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No sé si alguien tenía preguntas en español. Lidia Cuyar o Lester.
This is Deidre. I have a question. So when you place those, what kind of education did you have to do for the community to kind of teach them what is this doggone Bitcoin or cryptocurrency stuff? What is this machine? And things like, hey, don't, use a trust wallet, use etc. How did that work out? How did the community receive that education?
Yeah, so all of our marketing is completely educational. So we just did several posts saying, please, and I don't think I can get in trouble in Honduras for this, do not use Coinbase or Binance to cash out. So we have literally our marketing just says that in a neat graphic, and we have it also posted right next to the ATM. So right next to the ATM, I don't have pictures of this, but there's big posters explaining the steps of how to buy, and then telling you to not use a custodial wallet, preferably, and then our terms and conditions, and then also the videos. We just market and repost the videos over and over and over. Surprisingly, a lot of people already know how to use Bitcoin, and most of them just use Binance exchanges as wallets, but that's part of our marketing efforts. All of our marketing is just teaching them how to do this. Entonces, le estaba comentando a Deidre que todo nuestro marketing es simplemente educar a las personas. No necesariamente estamos buscando venderles un producto, sino que educarlas para que ellos puedan saber cómo utilizar esto, cómo utilizar el servicio.
Juan, is there a follow-up? Is there a video on the kiosk itself that they can play to learn how to get started?
No, but we have, no, we don't. We have QR codes of our terms and conditions, but we don't have the videos there now. But we post them on our Facebook. So in Central America, our Facebook is just massive. I know in the US, the interest in Facebook may be waning, but here it's people use it a ton. So Yeah.
But if I were to show up on your kiosk and I'd say, hey, I want to do that, and I didn't even start with Bitcoin,
Right.
how would
So
I get started?
we have a poster board, but teaching you how to buy step by step. Yes, we have a huge poster board. I don't have a picture of that, sadly. Let me see. Let me see.
And do you have any adoption numbers at all on how
Oh yeah, here we go.
clients you're getting?
Yeah, so we've had over what? I think over 350 customers. So, you know, that's a lot for like, I was just starting out. So aquí tengo la foto. So one moment. So I'm going to show you guys this picture. So yeah, so this is what we have in the kiosk right here. So we have, tenemos paso por paso, cómo utilizar el cajero. Y también tenemos aquí like, usar billeteras no custodiales, como use non-custodial wallets. So that's something that we try to emphasize a lot to the people. But yeah, we have all this graphics in there. And in our terms and conditions. Yep.
Christine,
Yeah, I have a question
I
too.
think we need to have a field trip.
Oh.
Come
901
on.
Field trip.
Okay, it sounds good to me. We'll plan one soon. Hey,
Field research.
I wanted to ask you too about you know, being so close to El Salvador. Do you feel like that's kind of rubbed off on Honduras with the familiarity with Bitcoin and using cryptocurrency and the acceptance or adoption compared to maybe other areas that might be more leery?
Absolutely. Stores are already accepting Bitcoin on their own terms.
Huh.
Absolutely. Yes. So I have pictures about that. So okay, so I wanted to show y'all, ahora les quería mostrar el video de cómo se compra café en El Salvador. I wanted to show you there's Starbucks in El Salvador. If you didn't know, I didn't know that. And we went and you can pay with Bitcoin. This was like September. The law came into effect September 7th. This was like the 11th of September. Esto fue como el 11 de septiembre cuando la ley entró en efecto el 7 de septiembre del 2021.
You know, how cool is that?
Starbucks.
Well, that's really cool.
My internet was a little bit slow. That's why. There we go.
That's pretty fast.
You bought coffee with Bitcoin. Let's go. This was the unedited version. But yeah, así pueden ver, acabamos de comprar café en El Salvador en segundos.
So how cool is that for travel, right? Instead of having to go like to an exchange group when you land in Honduras and get cash, you can just take your, you know, your trust wallet to the nearest kiosk and do your exchange right there. Buy it in US dollars for us and, you know, get it out in the local currency.
Yep, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
So this is the first video. So yeah, so también les quería mostrar, also I wanted to show you, this is using the Chivo ATMs in El Salvador. So I tried to do a cash out. Intenté vender Bitcoin y obtener efectivo. Entonces ellos te dan un código que cuando una vez que la cadena de bloques, que el Chivo haya visto que tu transacción ya fue confirmada, simplemente vas a canjear y impones este código y con este código te dan tu dinero. And so with El Salvador, it's a little bit different. They give you a receipt with the code that you input once a confirmation has been achieved. And then you walk up to the ATM and then you put your code and they give you the money. With Mines, you get a text message saying your money's ready and like only you can get it. With this one's, you know, the person with the code can have the money, basically. Entonces aquí la diferencia con mis cajeros y con los chivos es que la persona que tiene el código puede canjear el dinero y con los míos, él siempre te va a mandar un código único al momento de que tu Bitcoin esté lista para ser convertida a lempiras. Entonces, no estás en riesgo de que quien tenga este código puede agarrar tu dinero con los míos. So yeah, this is it. And so this was inside the bank in El Salvador. So it's like, you can buy Bitcoin here inside the bank. Eso fue adentro de los bancos en El Salvador, como que aquí puedes comprar o aceptamos Bitcoin. Entonces, esto fue El Salvador. Y también tuve el honor de ser invitado por el señor presidente Nayib Bukele. So I also had the privilege of being invited by President Nayib Bukele into the announcement, a lo que sería al anuncio de Bitcoin City, la ciudad de Bitcoin. Entonces, Bitcoin City planean que sea, obtenga energía geotermal. They plan to use geothermal energy and volcano energy to power the city. Y fue donde anunciaron también el bono Bitcoin. And it was also where Bitcoin bond was also announced. So they're looking to raise $1 billion. Están buscando recaudar $1,000 millones, o en inglés $1 billón. Y van a dar una tasa de interés de 6.50%. So what they want to do is use 500 million to buy Bitcoin and lock it up for 5 years, and use 500 million to build the city. And so lo que quieren hacer es usar 500 millones para comprar Bitcoin y llevarlo por 5 años, y 500 millones para poder comenzar a construir la ciudad de Bitcoin. Él tiene un periodo de 10 años. The bond is set for 10 years. And they also plan to pay Bitcoin dividends. También planean dar dividendos en Bitcoins una vez que se haya podido cumplir la deuda. O sea, once they're done paying the Bitcoin debt and the US dollar debt that they got to buy Bitcoins, they're gonna give Bitcoin dividends. Van a usarlo a través de Bitfinex. They're gonna use Bitfinex as their broker. And también va a ser emitido en Liquid Network. It's going to be issued in Liquid Network. So vas a poder comprar tu bono de $100. So you can buy bonds from $100 worth. And this is it. This is the Bitcoin volcano bonds you've been hearing about on Twitter. Estos son los bonos Bitcoin que se está escuchando en Twitter. So there's the president. So yeah. So también hubo conferencias en El Salvador. There was a conference called Adopting Bitcoin, llamada Adoptando Bitcoin, donde vinieron varias empresas como esta una, OKCoin. There was a lot of businesses who came and just presented and networked. So presentaron, y una buena oportunidad para hacer conexiones con otras personas. Estuvo muy estupenda. It was really great, just people from all over the place coming over to El Salvador and networking and presenting. And then aquí en la derecha tenemos viene un restaurante bien sencillo, a really simple restaurant. This person like, hey, we take Bitcoin Lightning payments for your smoothie. Tomamos Bitcoin por tus licuados. Boom. Solo escaneas el código QR y ese es pago. Only thing you do is scan the QR code, you paid.
I'm sold. I think that's where we should go, Ken.
I want to know how much a pizza costs, because they used to cost 10,000 Bitcoin, and I don't have that.
And so, yeah.
So Juan, what is, for people that aren't familiar, Lightning? For the Lightning versus, because I know that's like, if you're, a lot of people that use Bitcoin might be more familiar with Lightning, but I think there's some newbies that might be online, and just to give them idea what that is.
Right. So
just like a simple explanation or correlation of what you think it could be.
Yeah, mine's going to be pretty simple. Lightning is a layer 2 of Bitcoin. So that just means it's like a network within the Bitcoin network that lets you transact way much faster than sending a Bitcoin raw transaction. So what does this mean? So if I have a Lightning wallet and Christine has a Lightning wallet, she can literally send me Bitcoin in seconds. Where as opposed to if we did a Bitcoin transaction and I send you Bitcoin, Christine sends me Bitcoin, it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes for me to receive that Bitcoin. So Lightning is still Bitcoin network, but it's a layer 2. So it's like a network within the network on top of Bitcoin that lets you transact just way quicker than normal Bitcoin. So una presentación breve de lo que es Lightning es que es una capa, es una red dentro de Bitcoin, encima de Bitcoin, que te permite transaccionar mucho más rápido que Bitcoin normal. Hacer una transacción en Bitcoin normal tomaría alrededor de 10 a 15 minutos pasarla de persona A persona B. Mientras que con Lightning, como acabamos de ver en el video, es súper rápido, toma segundos. But I don't know if you want to add to that, Ken, on the Lightning explanation.
No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, without Lightning, transaction could take 10 to 15 minutes, but we need something that'll take seconds, right? So the Lightning Network just is a intermediate transaction that allows you to finish that transaction in a few seconds, and then that Lightning Network communicates with the real mainnet BitNet network and moves that transaction onto that main network.
Sí, entonces la red de Lightning se comunica con la red de Bitcoin y le dice, ok, esta es transacción, pero evita que tengas que esperar 10 a 15 minutos. So, yeah. And by the numbers, so yeah, we're just the first to market, thankfully. We have 3 BTMs totals. We have more on the way, 4. Shh, don't say anyone. That's alpha. Tenemos 3 en camino, pero tenemos 4 más también que ya van a venir. Y la inversión está fluyendo a la región. El Salvador es un caso muy ejemplo de eso. So El Salvador is a big example of just people, millionaires with money coming to the region to invest. Entonces están buscando invertir en compañías de Bitcoin, en algún servicio. Entonces todo eso del Salvador se está también llegando aquí un poco también. So all that, like mostly investments from El Salvador may affect the region as well as people start to expand. But yeah. So this is, that would be the end of my presentation. Eso sería el final de mi presentación.
Hey, that's great, Juan. You know, we don't necessarily, we're thank you for not making this a sales presentation, but if there's opportunity for people to participate in your company, feel free to kind of throw that out there. If you're looking for any kind of investors or any kind of participation, just let us know, and we'll toss that around. Since you didn't offer to do that, we're not trying to push you, but we just want to make that opportunity available for any of our listeners.
Yeah, sí, definitivamente. Si quieren hablar de inversión o algo, me pueden mandar un correo. You can reach me on my email. It's the best way if you, I guess, would like to angel invest or something. But yeah, I mean, we have a team of, there was 6 of us at one point, éramos 6 en un punto. Nosotros somos 3. Right now we're only 3. But yeah, we're getting there. We're growing. Estamos creciendo. Somos un emprendimiento. So, but yeah, we have 3 ATMs, which is the only ones in the country. So tenemos 3 cajeros que por los momentos son los únicos en el país.
So Juan, are there any, what does the government think there of any like tax implications, or is it, how difficult is it to actually transact, or do you have to worry about anything like that there?
Yeah, so we have a team of lawyers who are actively working on that. Tenemos un equipo de abogados que están actualmente trabajando en eso, but right now there's no regulation, so it's just literally great. Like there's not even a digital asset. That we've tried to give them notes and they're like, we don't regulate it. And so, yeah, it's just.
But do you feel like Honduras is going to go along with El Salvador and accept Bitcoin as the currency soon, you think?
I don't know. So we just got a new government.
Right.
And
just like last week, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, just like it was
a couple days ago, this week.
Yeah, January 27th. So she's a female president, which is terrific, but she, like, her husband was overthrown. And so it's literally like a Netflix movie kind of stuff. Her husband was overthrown in 2009. And then in 2021, she became president. And now it's all the same family, kind of. So like literally like, and so we just don't know if she has, because, so something that many people don't know, algo que mucha gente no sabe, is that President Bukele in El Salvador just dealt with a lot of pushback from banks and businesses, like terribly. El presidente Bukele tuvo mucha empuje de los negocios y los bancos en El Salvador, but President Bukele was like, we're going to do this. And so we just don't know if she's going to withstand that pressure or if she's willing to, because we just came out from this terrible government who just inherited her a lot of problems, a lot of debts, and so many issues that it would be hard for her to come off right off the bat and say, we're going to do this in Bitcoin, right? So we hope so. The Salvadorian and Honduran governments do have meetings and cooperate, but we really should just copy paste the law from the Bitcoin law from El Salvador and just pass it. But we need to have that leadership. And so El Salvador has had like the Congress, Bukele, like his party had the Congress. And here, the Congress was divided for 2 days. We had like 2 Congresses because there was like a fight over which one was the real Congress. And it's just been like, so far it hasn't been settling yet. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, thanks for keeping us up to date on that, because I think it's really fascinating. And it's great that I think that El Salvador has kind of taken the initiative to give it a try and see what's happening, and then everybody's kind of learning from what they're doing. I think it's really exciting for you guys too down there, because you're so close and interact a lot more than some other areas. So I think it's really interesting to see what happens.
Hey, Juan, to follow up on that, do you think that you get the feeling that the small and medium businesses that are in Honduras might, regardless of a law to accept it as a primary currency, just start accepting cryptocurrency as a payment method?
So they are already doing that here. It's crazy. Like there's one business near my house that sells cell phones, and they have a big sign saying we accept Bitcoin. It's like, how did that happen? I didn't reach out to them. There's this other food place in touristy spot saying we accept Bitcoin Lightning. So yes, it is happening. Entonces sí se está dando que mucha gente está comenzando a adoptar Bitcoin por su propia cuenta.
And how is the reaction when the market kind of goes down and everything, like last week, or a couple of weeks ago, we were in the 40s and 50,000 for Bitcoin. And now
today.
Yeah, even today. Or do you feel like that kind of makes them like disappointed or disillusioned and say, yeah, well, I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to buy any Bitcoin anymore? Or do you think they're like kind of in it for the long run, or do they understand that? I mean, it's hard to see that sometimes with all the volatility.
In El Salvador, they are in it for the long run. Here, I can tell you factually, people are buying the dip. Like Bitcoin price went down, people went to the ATMs.
Great. That's great. Well, then that means they're in it for the long run too, though.
Yeah,
if they're buying the dip.
It's just like I'm not sure where in the learning curve we are, because in El Salvador, there is like September 7th was the day. And so they were up and down, and now they're like, oh, we know how this thing is now. But here, we haven't had like a parting point to say, so I can say if people are in it for long or not. I don't know. People just have individually learned about Bitcoin. Aquí más que todo la gente individualmente en su propio tiempo han aprendido qué es Bitcoin.
I feel like that's
Bitcoin, cryptocurrency has this potential to be like an avalanche, right? Reach this tipping point, and then I'm just not predicting, but it just has that potential to say, we get enough adoption, you get to this tipping point, and it's like, well, okay, if everybody else is doing it, why not me? Fingers crossed, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really.
Oh no, I was just curious about the type of people that were using the machines. Is it like business people that are more likely to go and use it, or like what's the demographics? I'm just curious. Here in Memphis, there was a lot of push to get those machines. They were like in Midtown type area, not necessarily like in the suburbs. So I'm just curious about where your machines are located and kind of why you chose the locations.
Yeah, so mostly we just placed the machines. One of them is in like an exclusive tower, very private space. The other one is very open downtown, and the other one is just really nice coffee shop. But it's mostly just the deals that I get. Like if I get a good deal on the placement, because right now, like there's only so few, like people don't care where it is, they'll go to it. But then, yes, there's, to answer your question about like the type of people, some people are just holders. Alguna gente simplemente sostiene la Bitcoin. Otros, they're using this platform, which I'm really like a little bit confused, called GoArbit. And they're getting somehow interest, and they're getting it in Bitcoin. So they use the Bitcoin to cash out its money. But I don't know if that's legit or not, but a lot of people are users of that platforms. But there's occasional traders who buy the Bitcoin to just hold or to convert it to something else, to buy on Binance or whatever. And then, I mean, we had the case of one person, tuvimos el caso de una persona de Afganistán le iban a mandar dinero. They were going to send Bitcoin to a person in Afghanistan to help her out. And they did it to Bitcoin. Y lo mandaron a través de Bitcoin hasta Afganistán.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, does anybody have any other questions for Juan? Or yeah, I think that all this is just very, very interesting, and I'm so glad that you're down there and we're getting like firsthand experience.
Thank God for Zoom. Yeah. No, so Ken, I was telling Christine that we're trying to integrate layer 2 or Lightning into ATMs or Ethereum layer 2. So we might get some funding. So if we get some funding, we might be able to partner up with you guys to get some matching funding or something and integrate layer 2 to the ATMs. We would have to find developers though and a project manager and stuff, but it could be a good opportunity to collaborate.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think Sartor would actually be interested. He may even want to put one of the La Bitcoineras down in the exchange.
That would be awesome. It's just the permits. That's
I
the
could see
hard
him
part
doing
over
that.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
what does it take to put one in? What kind of logistics do you have to solve?
Well, you just have to import it and then operate it. So many people don't know how to import it or operate it, but right now that's it. We do have anti-money laundering policy, tenemos política contra lavado de activos, y all this regulation compliance for sure. But really, that's it. I know in the US, something about money transmitter licenses in some cases, and I don't know what the upstart cost is over there with that legal.
So your current kiosks are Bitcoin specific, not Lightning. They're Bitcoin specific, right?
Right. They used to have Lightning, but I don't know why the software provider took them out. But you can also buy Litecoin and Ethereum. But right now, it just doesn't make sense to have like Ethereum, because you would buy $5 and it cost me $20 to send you the $5.
Yeah.
Sí, actualmente los cajeros soportan Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum y Zcash y Monero. Son las monedas que puedes comprar, pero ahorita en el cajero solo está activado Bitcoin y Litecoin.
okay, anybody else? Or I'll stop the recording. I think you have some good questions though for you, Juan, that you can look over later.
Yeah. No sé, Jeffrey o Lidia, si tenían preguntas o cómo ven la cosa aquí en los bancos.